people have been killed in police fighting in Mandsaur and Madhya. The Maharashtra, a unique protest for the farmers, which is a strike, that they are not releasing their produce to the cities, except of course some major cities have been exempted, like Bombay, but in all other cities, the just supplies is just not reaching. And what are the demands? All the demands are promises that were made by Prime Minister Modi 3 years ago. He promised a minimum support price of 1.5 times the cost of production. That is not happening. Import duty on exports has been reduced. In fact, for wheat it is brought down to 0. Net result, the farmer is not getting enough remuneration and is collapsing under the debt trap. That is leading to farmer suicide increasing. The government, through an affidavit in the Supreme Court, has said 12,000 plus farmers every year, that is more than 36,000 farmers in the last 3 years, have committed distress suicides. Now, instead of that, what they are today, relax here, this is part of their celebration. This is exactly, and this is their style of celebration. And those of our journalists from Kerala, they must be used to this. This is the type of violence and crime that they create. But anyway, don't worry about that. They will be taken care of. But in spite of that, what they have now done is asking all the public sector undertakings to cover up huge amounts of money to conduct this campaign. Police firings, farmer suicides on the rise, and the Prime Minister appears in coloured advertisements today sponsored by public sector units, saying what the great things that he has done for the Indian farmers. Now this is the irony of the day today. Sardar Patel's statue is now to be constructed by the oil PSUs. And this is supposed to be corporate social responsibility. Instead, the Prime Minister's relief fund, to which all of us MPs recommend some genuine cases of people who need medical assistance, that we are told that Prime Minister's relief fund has no money left. So what is happening in this country is some sort of a surreal creation, where the real world, for the real people, their lives are miserable. There's a surreal world that is conducted through the cyber media, space, and that is the surreal world that is the way India. This is accompanied by your sharpening of your polarization. The UP government now has come up with an atrocious statement saying that it will invoke the National Security Act for whom they call as cow slaughters. The NSA was an act passed by us in Parliament post your Mumbai terror attack, which was designed to allow preventive detention in order to curb terrorism and terrorist attacks. Now, preventive detention on fabricated charges of cow slaughter. It's actually amazing. I mean, this is the surreal aspect of this government. How do you conduct a preventive arrest on a cow slaughter charge? The charge can only be proved if the cow is slaughtered, no? What is the preventive arrest there? But the intention means I tell the cow I'm going to slaughter you. I mean, but they're going to the extent of making a mockery of your entire law administration. And with these private armies that are running berserk in the country, they are appropriating to themselves the responsibility to implement the law of the land, which is something that is not acceptable in a democracy. So what we find is increasing undermining of the institutions of parliamentary democracy, and where, unfortunately, even you are part of the target, you in the sense the media, and there we are very clear, browbeating the media or getting them to be servile conformists. That is something that is not acceptable for us in the country. And what we've seen in the recent attacks on a media house, and we've said this very clear, freedom is an inviolable principle of our democracy. The law must prevail, but not at the cost of harassment of media houses or media institutions, and this is something that is not acceptable. Further, we discussed the preparations for the Tripura elections. Tripura elections, in our opinion, is not an election confined to only one state in the northeast of India. This is an election in the background of the overall attack that the BJP and the RSS and the communal forces are mounting against the left in the country. This must be seen in the background of the consistent efforts to destabilize the LDF government in Kerala, to engage in the growth and development of competitive communalism in Bengal, playing tandem with the Trinamool Congress, one pandering to minority fundamentalism, the other pandering to majority Hindu communalism, and in the bargain is of the left, which is what they are attempting to do. And in Tripura, they have now said, after their maneuvering and forming of governments in Arunachal and Manipur, the target is through the northeast. So a lot of money has been spent. There's a lot of activity that the RSS BJP conducting there, and that activity, this communal polarization in Tripura is not so much in other places. But what they are doing is actually trying to stoke ethnic clashes between various tribal groups, tribals and non-tribals. And through this, they are trying to make an inroad. Now, this is something that we are determined will not be permitted in Tripura. I was there recently for the state committee meeting, and there we said that the BJP will meet its Waterloo in these elections in Tripura. And that is something that the Politburo heard all these preparations, and then we have said that all efforts will be made, that this shall be seen as a political battle between the left and the BJP at a national level, not in only state-specific election. Regarding the president and the vice presidential elections, we are in consultation with the other secular parties, opposition parties. And I think after the notification is issued today, things will be moving in a faster pace. So we are determined, along with a large number of these secular opposition parties, to field a candidate who has impeccable secular credentials and will uphold the constitutional principles of our republic. So for that, the talks are proceeding, and I think there will be a joint candidate of the secular opposition parties. Likewise, for the vice president also, we are for putting up a political fight. Even the electoral college is in favor of the ruling coalition, because vice president election is only the number of MPs in both the houses, president's election. In spite of that, we will definitely put up a political fight. This is what the Politburo has decided. We have. Let me finish, no? I'm coming. Bear with me. Regarding Kashmir, we have it is very obvious by now that this BJP government's Kashmir policy has been a complete, utter failure. The degree of alienation of the people of Kashmir from the center is near complete now. And the primary reason for this, according to us, is the betrayal of the assurances and promises that the government itself made to the people of Jammu and Kashmir. When the all-party delegation was forced to be taken there by the Union Home Minister, upon return, two things were promised to the people of Kashmir. One, confidence-building measures will immediately be initiated and implemented by this Modi government, which included the withdrawal or replacement of those pellet guns with something else. Second, we said immediately the process of a dialogue with all the stakeholders will be initiated to arrive at a political solution. promises made public to the country, to everybody. On both these scores, the government has not moved an inch forward. And here, therefore, we think that it is the government that is squarely responsible for creating this sort of a situation. And this is very dangerous for the unity, integrity of our country, along with all other consequences it has. And therefore, we have decided that along with other secular opposition parties and some well-meaning intellectuals, people's movements who've been working in Kashmir, along with them, we would like to bring together a process of consultation, possibly through a convention, through some sort of a consultative mechanism, on a theme along the lines of Kashmir, the way forward. With that understanding, we are proceeding forward. We are proceeding ahead as far as Kashmir is concerned. And as far as the new order that issued on the question of cattle, etc., our Kerala Chief Minister, probably remember, has taken the initiative and written to all non-BJP Chief Ministers, saying that this is something that is violative of the federal principles of our Constitution and also violative of the fundamental right to the choice of what type of food that people want to eat. So therefore, there should be a combined opposition to this move by the central government. So we are discussing with the Chief Minister there and our party also. We are discussing with the other opposition parties, non-BJP, governments, state governments. And we are working towards building up a sort of a unified opposition to this particular measure that the government has taken. So these are the major issues that we discussed. Number one, as far as the Rajya Sabha election is concerned, since that's your question also. That's your question also. That's all of your question also. You see, as far as the Rajya Sabha election is concerned, I have made my position clear earlier and I reiterate. Listen, and that is that the norm party is that Rajya Sabha, a member will serve 2 terms and a 3rd term is not usually given, and that is the party's norm. As a General Secretary, I am not violating that norm. I shall not violate that norm. That has been made clear earlier. This now notification for the Rajya Sabha elections has not come yet. When that notification comes, at that time, an appropriate decision will be taken by the party. Somebody's phone is ringing here. I told you, let that notification of the Rajya Sabha be announced. There is no election as of now. And my party is not in the habit of going around announcing candidates when there is no election announced. Let the election be declared, election be notified, and then we will make the announcement. They have sent a proposal, but what we've said is that proposal is there, but when the notification comes, an appropriate decision on the matter will be taken.
So this means the party may decide either way. This means the party may decide either way. They might decide on a 3rd term.
I have told you what I have told you. Interpretation is yours. You ask for an endorsement of your interpretation from me. Our party is democracy. And in fact, there is a little excess of democracy. All proposals made by all state committees are considered and taken very seriously by the High Committee. That is for the post of the president. For the post of the president, we don't have a candidate. CPM doesn't have a candidate. And at least I am not the candidate. So देखिए नोटिफिकेशन आएगा तो पता चलेगा समय सूची क्या है. वो समय सूची के अनुसार हम अपना काम और अपने कंसल्टेशंस पूरा करके हमारा कैंडिडेट कौन है उसका सूचना देंगे। So what do I have to do? Neither did I receive any part of that money, nor did I contribute to it. So what do I do? I mean, they've given a notice, so let them pursue the notice. Mr. Jomi Thomas, whether you may be a journalist, but you're also taking a political position. Everybody takes a political position. So what is this great distinction you're making? So the point is that they will be a candidate who will be part of a political fight that we want to put up for this in today's conditions, given this communal polarization and this offensive, for a person in that highest office in the country as the custodian of Indian Constitution who will be able to protect and safeguard the constitutional values. The very fact that you are safeguarding the constitutional values makes you a political person. जी जाएंगे, मंसूर जा रहे हैं, हमारे पार्टी के लोग ऑलरेडी वहाँ पे है, ऑलरेडी हमारा किसान सभा वहाँ पे है, हमारा किसान सभा एक लीडिंग रोल प्ले कर रही है आज ये महाराष्ट्र के किसान स्ट्राइक में, और आज हमारे किसान सभा के 2 लोग गिरफ्तार हो गए। रैली फॉर वैली जो हो रहा था उसके अंदर मेधाप जी को और कई सारे साथियों को और हमारे किसान सभा के नेताओं को आज गुजरात सरकार ने गिरफ्तार कर लिया मध्य प्रदेश में। कोऑपरेटिव फेडरलिज्म है दोनों स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स का, बीजेपी का। तो गुजरात पुलिस मध्य प्रदेश में आके कर दे क्या, उनका कहना है कि दोनों स्टेट में बीजेपी का ही सरकार है, सो देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम। तो I mean your constitution, your powers, discipline, all that is meaningless for them. Listen, as far as the army chief and all the comments and the campaigns that are being run, I'm very distressed, and I want to make our position very clear. The army is a very, very, very sacred, venerable institution of our democracy. The army should not be brought as subject matter of political discourse. A great disservice is done by dragging the army into political discourse. And I'm appealing to all political leaders as well as the army the chiefs and the staff and their officers. Do not drag the army into political discourse. That is not in the interest of India, its democracy, and our country.
Coming back to the presidential election, you say that as the person who will be safeguarding the constitutional values, he will be a political person.
No, don't mix up, please. Guarding our constitutional values of our republic itself is a political thing. So it's not a political person. There are many who can fit the bill. The point is that on whom we will all go. Mr. Gopal Gandhi definitely is one of the persons under consideration. The point is on whom the maximum unity can be evolved. And on that we are working on. By now the government should have actually started the process of consultation for a consensual candidate. That has been the practice, at least as far as I in my adult political life. So that has not happened this time. So the point is, once the notification comes and once the schedule is known, then we'll take our decisions. You see, that the discussions had begun on that point, but these presidential election discussions naturally were more important at the moment. So right now, I mean, both are going on. The month of Ramzan has said, the holy month of Ramzan, so keeping that also in mind, we are taking, but we want it to be, I don't think there's any time that we can afford to lose on this Kashmir. No, the process, what we want is a process of a solution, Now, the whole situation, Mr. Vajpayee of period Jamhuriyat and he tells the Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir government, in your assembly, you discuss the question of autonomy and send us a proposal. Mr. Farooq Abdullah sends, as the CM sends that proposal. Mr. Vajpayee sits on it. His government goes, the new government comes, the UPA government sets up what is called the study groups. Very good reports were presented. One of them was headed by our current Vice President, Mr. Hamid Ansari. After that, the 2010 disturbances happened. We all go there in an all-party delegation. After that, a group of interlocutors is appointed. The interlocutors have given their report. Nothing has moved on any one of them. And then you say that, it's a matter of insaniyat, it's a matter of faith, the atut ang ho Kashmir. The Kashmiris turned out and saying, अगर अटूट अंग है तो हमारी दर्द भी तो आपको महसूस होनी चाहिए.
You have to revert back to the central government, comrade, after.
Naturally, everything will have to be done only by the central government and along with the state government. But what is to be done? For that we want to give our input. Unfortunately, unsolicited input, because the government doesn't want to solicit. I'm sorry? It was not connected with the notification because we were already scheduled to meet today, various points of time. So already that process is on, as I told you.
Would you like to clarify whether you were handled or not? Because I clearly saw only one person shouting slogan, but there are flashes running that you were manhandled. Would you like to have position?
That's absolutely preposterous. So what is with your communism is worse than competitive communalism. You can fabricate it if you want. There's nobody that even reached anywhere near me. And if you want to sensationalize, that's your job. There were two people who walked up from the stage behind me shouting slogans. As I was entering it, my entry into this hall was blocked not by those two people, but by your cameraman. For them, even subject matter is difficult to distinguish. Anyway, they are, I suppose, doing their job, but so there is no question of any manhandling, nothing of that sort happened. अरे हम ही बहुत है यार, सिक्योरिटी की क्या ज़रूरत है? काश उन लोगों का हाथ मेरे नज़दीक आता तो उनको जवाब भी मिल जाता. I wish, if they had reached close enough to manhandle me, they would have got the response also.
But do you think RSS and Gorak should start sitting the CPM leaders?
Who?
RSS and Gorak.
I don't have to think that is happening. They are doing it. That is their job. The only way the RSS has grown politically in our country, its influence has grown, is only through terror and violence.
There's nothing something on international
In our resolutions, we'll give you on international. But if there's anything you want to ask, you must welcome. I thought I'll make it business-like and do it you.
Last time we had that lunch meeting, you all said that you wait for the government to make them move because addition has been that you usually discuss.
No, let me correct. We never said we'll wait. We said the decision has been that the government takes the initiative to try building a sincere candidate. Then the next sentence begins by saying this has not happened. We therefore have decided to field a candidate who will uphold the constitutional principles of our republic. I'm virtually.
Both the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister and Maharashtra Chief Minister have accused the opposition, particularly the Congress and also other parties, of having stoked this farmers' protest. Now, one, what's your reaction to this? And secondly, what's your feedback from the ground? Apparently, the Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, the RSS affiliated farmer cell, union, has split in Madhya Pradesh, and in other places it's facing a split. So, on both counts.
Well, you see, number one, the first question that you asked, it's an unfortunate situation for the country that the government has now come to a stage where it sees the common people of our country, the suffering Kisans of our country, as its opposition. They are the government's opposition, the people, unfortunately. I mean, that is the situation that has come to, because that has been the result of its own policies. As far as the divisions you are finding in some of these organizations, this is something that is always engineered in any movement. In Maharashtra, for instance, on the third night, I think third or the fourth night, the Chief Minister called leading representatives of these organizations, and then suddenly unilaterally announced that the strike has been withdrawn because two organizations have supported him. Simultaneously, all the others gave their thing, and therefore, because this is what the Chief Minister is doing, on the 5th, that is day before yesterday, there was a Bandh call given by the Kisans, which was very effective all across Maharashtra. So showcasing one or two organizations and engineering them, this is a classic ploy to divide any movement. But all of them have failed, both in Madhya Pradesh and in Maharashtra, and none of this is going to work, because the stark reality is that the misery of our agrarian sector cannot be more emphasized than what is happening today in our country. There is agrarian distress. It's not an agrarian crisis. There is an agrarian distress in India. Okay? I told you, when the appropriate time comes, we'll tell you about it.
Side.
आपको मैं बुलाना चाहूंगी, मैं मंच पर पत्रकार श्री मोहित रंजन जी को मैं मंच पर आमंत्रित करना चाहूंगी।